Does he look like he's wearing down to you, or is he just in a shooting slump?
Both.
Okay.
The Nuggets were tired yesterday. Scored 87 points.
Yeah.
Both teams had a disastrous start to that game, and that's even with the young Oklahoma City team. Yeah, but and this is almost like, what are you supposed to do? You got to play, and for the Nuggets, they're 6.5 players, and you best be able to manage it. And you saw it on Friday night in the overtime victory. Is massive minutes for the starters, and they were better than Oklahoma City in overtime. Outscored them 11-2.
Yeah.
And you just, at this point in time, it's what you have to deal with. You just have to go, and Jokic does look tired at times. The Nuggets looked like a tired team late in that contest, but it was a missed opportunity to really shock the basketball world, because yesterday was the first close game that Oklahoma City won in this matchup this year. So going into this series, and then what we saw with Oklahoma City's big victory in Game 2, the wins this year for the Thunder over the Nuggets, they've won those games by 27 points. When the Nuggets have won, it's been by 3 points. So there's been no in between until yesterday. I think yesterday you did see it. It's like halfway through a playoff run. If you're a team that believes you can get to the finals, you're at the midway point, you got to dig deep. You got to change things up. Oklahoma City was able to use their bench. And, hey, I know we talk about it all the time, but the depth did play a difference yesterday. I'm impressed with the Nuggets. I didn't think they were going to be able to do this in the series, is make it close, come back, have an opportunity to actually take a 3-1 series lead. But you do see, I think it's going to be the difference in this series is if Jokic can't find consistency, it's over for me, even in a 2-2 series.
Yeah, I know you talk a lot about depth doesn't matter in the NBA at this point, and that's where Mark Daigneault, the coach of Oklahoma City, said we made an intentional effort to use our depth today and get everybody going, and they did, right? And so maybe overall it doesn't matter, but he went 9 deep, right? I mean, nine guys got double-digit minutes for Oklahoma City in a close game yesterday, where the Nuggets go 6 deep. And that's all he trusts. I mean, you might get a shot out of Peyton Watson here now and there, but that's all that Adelman trusts is going 6 deep. And when, to your point, when Jokic is shooting, and I'm not going to blame Nikola Jokic, but when he's shooting 7 for 22, he's still at 27 and 13, right? And dude is still that good, but they're beating the hell out of him. He's getting the Shaq treatment, on offense, the way he's being defended, and you go back to back, and I don't know how old Nikola Jokic is. What is he like? What are you gonna guess? 32? How old is Nikola Jokic? I know now. Do you know how old he is?
I think it's like the early 30s.
He's 30. Yeah, he's 30. So he's still young. But I mean, look, man, you're going like this, and the other team had to play late night on Friday and early on Sunday, and it's not just you that got beat like that, and to the point of have a deeper bench. Oklahoma City does.
Well, this is one of those things. It's like, all right, you got to put it in the context. When you look at Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, like rising star players for the Thunder,
yep,
they're on rookie deals.
Yeah,
which is why you can go get Hartenstein,
right.
which is why you can have Caruso. So kind of this, that, and the other. And the Nuggets, where they are, is Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, max contract guy.
Porter's making a lot of money too, right?
And so that's the balance. Like, all right, you want to pay your players. And Oklahoma City is going to get to this point very soon. Is when, all right, all those guys are up for max contracts. Where does that depth come from?
Yep. And how do you figure out how to construct your roster? And that's why the general managers that are really good are really good. We're going to get into the other series. And series plural, because tonight you get Boston and New York. You get Minnesota and Golden State. And all of them, there's intrigue to everything. We'll get into Cleveland, Indiana. New Mexico United had their home win streak stopped. Giannis is open to exploring playing somewhere else. Derek Carr, I don't know what the hell I wrote right here. Derek Carr announced his retirement, which seemed a bit sudden, although I can't think it's shocking. So we got NFL news to do as well. Global baseball is going into the final weekend with an opportunity to win a championship. So we got a ton to do. Let's go. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 505-246-0610. Hey, planning a road trip this summer? Do not let your car's paint take the hit. On the Spot Automotive Detailing offers paint protection film. This will guard against rock chips, road debris. Yeah, that's ceramic coating. Keep that shine all season long. Plus, now that the intense sun is starting to hit you, it'll help with the UV oxidation damage this summer as well. While you're at it, get your windows tinted. They are experts at that. They'll give you a cooler, more comfortable drive. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They're reliable, and they've been voted best in the city. Have them come out and detail your vehicle. They come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient. You do not take your vehicle to them. They detail your vehicle at the office or in your driveway. And when they're done, your car has that new car feel. That's what the car dealers do. They detail the vehicles. Looks, feels, smells brand new. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. It's a great gift as well. Book and buy. It's all online at otsdetailing.com. That is otsdetailing.com.
Searching for an inside look at the people, stories,
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The United States Soccer Federation will be launching the all-new U.S. Soccer Podcast.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
DQ Summer Blizzard Treat Menu, featuring new Mixing Bowl mashup, fan-voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time, right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. At participating locations.
Looks like that earlier crash east on I-40 near the Broadway Boulevard exit has cleared with minor congestion left over. Northbound I-25 looking busier through that construction area at Comanche coming from the interchange. And in the North Valley, expect stop-and-go traffic east on Alameda Boulevard at Ellison Drive.
Report is brought to you by Chili Traditions.
Pro
Come smell the
View
official state
Networks.
aroma.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
But it's a fun time of the year because there's hoops and hockey in multiplicity every night. You know what I mean? If the basketball's bad, I can almost guarantee you the hockey's good. And I flip over. Panthers beat the Leafs last night 2-0. That series is tied up. You see the way Vegas beat the Jets the other night on a goal with like 0.3 of a second left?
Deflecting in off.
Yeah, it was like Plinko. Blink,
wild.
Blink. Yeah. No, the hockey's almost always good. So if the basketball is not, and boy, there's been a fair share of really good basketball, but certainly a share of not. You can go over and watch. There's always something. Then you can go watch the Rockies. See, oh wait, it was 21-0. Gross, just gross. 505-246-0610. He is JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal. Thank you for being with us. The other one yesterday, Pacers tied an NBA record by taking a 41-point halftime lead. How many of these records? The other day we saw Oklahoma City score, 83?
87 points in the first half.
That was a record for a half. And now I've got the record for biggest halftime lead. And by the way, so the Nuggets had scored over 50 when they gave up 87 that night. They were still getting run out of the built. Indiana had early runs of 11-2 and 13-0. I think the story here is, there was the scuffle. And one dude saying, here, hit me. And he put double palm, pushed him, and dude went down like he was shot. But the story here is Donovan Mitchell's health, right? He went out. Now, I don't know if they just held him because they were down by 41 at halftime, and why am I going to play Donovan Mitchell?
Did you see the video of what happened?
No, I just saw him walking the halftime stuff. So he couldn't put – it was the left
angle. He was, everyone just kind of walking back on the court, grab a basketball.
Yeah.
And he went to shoot, and right as he crouched down, he fell and grabbed his leg.
So is that what I'm looking at? Okay, I thought it was already hurt there. So then I guess I did see that.
Yeah, so I think it was, sore, and they're like, all right, get out there. And then something just went on him right there.
They're done. Yeah. He's going to have an MRI today. And Kenny Atkins, their head coach, said he had no idea the severity of it. But he came out on the court to warm up, at halftime. And his left ankle, it's being described as discomfort, but it looks certainly more than discomfort. He stopped midway through a shot attempt, bent over, and the training staff came out, and that was it. Went back to the locker room and didn't play. They're done, right?
Yeah, even if you have you twist, you're a little sore, like that just looks a lot worse than just your ankle was turned and then you couldn't walk on it anymore. The way he was reacted to it.
Yeah, I mean, Steph Curry goes down, and you figure, all right, well, but at least they're in the series at that point. They won that first game. They've lost the next two. They got a big one tonight. This guy goes down. He's their best player. Nobody else is playing consistently. We're watching just kind of a little bit of a gong show from them. This is a one seed that flat out just I don't want to say fell apart, but
they're getting
JJ kind of fell apart.
Picked apart.
Yeah.
By the Pacers in this. And yeah, they've dealt with injuries throughout, had that game where they were out 3 guys, but then they blow the game. The end of the contest, they collapsed. They have not been able to rally together in this situation. I know I've talked so much about the Pacers, and I forgot about the Pacers. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yeah,
and they are like the most overlooked team in the NBA.
They were.
And then they're here, and everyone's just like, oh, wow, Cleveland's awful. I'm like, well, Cleveland had a lot to overcome in this series. But, man, the Pacers, when they click, they are darn good.
Are the Pacers a threat in the next round? Because I think they're through. I do. I just don't see a way they don't get through now. You like
They're
them
a
against the
threat
Knicks?
if it's the Knicks.
Not against the Celtics?
I still would take the Celtics in that series.
Okay. The Celtics are having to work a little bit. They're down 2-1. They ran the Knicks out of their own home. This is
Finally
really,
didn't blow a 20-point lead.
no, but this is why. Boy, tonight's so big. Tonight's so big, right? I mean, did the winner of tonight win that series?
Yes.
You feel that way? So the Knicks won 2 in Boston. The Celtics went back to New York and won. And won big. Won whatever it was. I mean, blew them out. Like one of these games where I'm going to go watch hockey. Right? And the Celtics have had 20-point leads in all 3 games. Now, they blew 20-point leads in the first 2 games in Massachusetts. I don't know how you look at this series. Do you look at it and just go, well, the Celtics are just better? I mean, they've shown you that, but they haven't been able to close. Or do you go, well, Knicks are up 2-1, so it doesn't really matter how many minutes you've been winning. It's like, I tell my mom in baseball all the time, well, I remember the Dodgers lost a series at one point. I said, Mom, it doesn't matter how much. Like, the 3 games they won by, an average of 5.5 runs, and they lost by an average of 1.2, but it's not cumulative score. You win games. Which way do you look at it? The Celtics are better. They've been up by 20. They've led most of the series. Or the Knicks had those 2 comebacks and were more clutch down the stretch. And they're up, and so they should be favored right
now. Even as you said, laid out, I still look at that Boston team, and even without Kristaps Porzingis really being a factor at all, I like the pieces that they have. It was a good response from Jalen Tatum. The consistency from the starting 5 is what you would expect from the Celtics. And yes, tonight, because if it's 3-1 the Knicks, then I think they can handle it. And then if it's 2-2, then I think it's a point where Boston has the momentum. They found their confidence back, and they're not going to let lead slip away in the series.
And they figured things out. What'd you make of the Mathurin and Hunter thing? I keep looking at it, and I keep looking at it. I didn't think he hit him that hard. I thought it was kind of a tap that started the whole thing, and then Hunter comes out and double palm pushes him, and he goes to the ground like he was shot. And I thought the whole thing was exaggerated, blown up. But did you think he hit him that hard? I mean, it looks like something I see all the time. An arm is extended and kind of, an arm to the chest.
You can't use a fist.
I'm not telling you it's okay. I just didn't know that. I thought it was ejectable.
Because when you do that, that's a lot different than clearing space.
All right.
Closed fist versus kind of forearm. We're playing basketball type of deal. And it was one that, it was absolutely over-exaggerated by both parties, and frustrating situation for the Cavs. So Hunter goes off, and it's one where Mathurin thought, hey, I do this, if I get a big reaction, here we go. I was surprised that with the level, the shove that all Hunter got was a tech, but I think with the refs reviewing it, they looked at it and said, all right, this was kind of a closed fist to the stomach, which will make you, it's not the hurt you, but you can understand when you get hit unexpectedly why you just have that motion. And to me, it was a lot more just frustration from
and retaliation.
Hunter of, he hasn't been playing well this series. Cavs are getting hit. They're down 12 at that point in time, early in the game.
Yeah. All right. I thought it was overreaction on both of them, but that's.
It's a physical sport. But the one thing they say is you can't just hit someone with a closed fist, regardless of
all right.
what happens.
We're going to get NFL schedule this week. Little bits are trickling out. I'm going to tell you where the Cowboys are going to open the season. That is trickling out. Drip, 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 drip. And what the Derek Carr announcement for retirement means, and how will Derek Carr be remembered? What kind of quarterback will you remember Derek Carr as? 505-246-0610. He's J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal.
This message is brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Gonna get the NFL schedule this week. It's a big deal for many. Big holiday. Start planning your trips, your games, your, The defending Super Bowl champions typically open up at home on Thursday. So I think we knew the Eagles would open up at home. Good morning, boys and girls. Opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Against whom would the Eagles play? The Eagles, it's starting to leak. Drip, drip, drip. The Eagles will host the Dallas Cowboys on that opening Thursday night of the NFL season. The rest of the schedule is going to come out Wednesday, although you'll get little drips here and there before Wednesday. But Philadelphia's week 1 opponent will be Dallas. The game will be at Lincoln Financial Field. It'll be Thursday, September 4. So, after they unveil their banner, get ourselves an old NFC East rivalry right out of the gate. Eagles swept the season series last year, if you recall. Beat the Cowboys twice. In fact, outscored them 75-13. It still only counts for 2 wins. Eagles are on a 3-game win streak against the Cowboys. However, Dallas is on a 7-game winning streak on Thursday nights. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I guess the schedule makers had 8 teams to choose from. Because you already knew who Philadelphia was going to host, right? It's already lined up. Who are they going to host? Washington, Giants, the Bears, the Lions, the Raiders, the Rams, the Broncos. I guess I could have seen it being the Lions or the Rams also, right? But the NFL said, nope, let's go Cowboys, Eagles to get things started. Dak versus Hurts. And, of course, you've got the Super Bowl champions open up. You good with that? Feel all right?
I'm good with that. And for Dallas, it's either look at us now, we just beat the Eagles, or, oh, bleep, here we go again. Now we're climbing an uphill battle.
Season's over. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you'll get a little more drips and drips and drips. It goes probably more today, certainly more tomorrow. The big news over the weekend in the NFL, I think it was the big news, was Derek Carr announcing, was it Saturday morning, late Friday night? It came out that he was going to retire. 11 seasons in the National Football League with the Raiders and the Saints. He has a shoulder injury that is forcing his retirement. Played at Fresno State, was a really good quarterback there, was a second-round pick by the Raiders in 2014. 9 years with the Raiders, last 2 with the Saints. How will you remember Derek Carr as a quarterback?
Derek Carr as an NFL quarterback was good, was someone that we deemed as middle of the road at times, but also someone that you were always looking for if you didn't have a quarterback. Was looking for that consistency, someone with that upside. Now it's one where if I'm Derek Carr, looking at some people going, okay, you thought this was just a made-up situation for me to get out of New Orleans, and then to read the reports on the shoulder situation and some, not just, tear, but maybe some years and years of throwing have worn down that shoulder. But you tip your cap as he can go back to his family now, 5 kids, and we got to figure out who's that new guy that we're going to say is league average quarterback.
Well, yeah, and I think there's enough of those guys that you can look at it and say, all right, well, your guy probably is, I don't know, dare I say, would it be Dak Prescott? Was he better than Dak Prescott? Was Dak Prescott better than him?
I think they're comparable quarterback.
People are going to lose their mind over that. What do you mean? Derek Carr was a good quarterback. Derek Carr was a consistent quarterback, never won at that level. You could argue that he never had the team around him to win at that next level. Derek Carr was, by every account, a great dude and a great teammate, a guy that people wanted to play with, that people, if you read all the stuff, and then not just, it's kind of an obit, right, when a guy retires, not just the post-mortem on him, but by every account was the dude you wanted to have him in the building. Was a team guy that did everything the right way. Him and Gruden were super tight when that thing went sour with Gruden. Well, you remember the leader that he became of that franchise. He basically held that thing together. When that whole thing went down with Gruden, and him and Gruden were tight, and they lived right near each other. They were super tight. And when John Gruden got run out, and that organization was literally splintering. When you go back and look, it was Derek Carr who stepped up as the leader, not just because he was a quarterback, because he was a leader and people respected Derek Carr and held that thing together and kept it on track. Derek wasn't great. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's not, going to be go down as one of those guys. Oh, he was, but probably one of the all-time good guys. I remember when Derek was at Fresno State. I always enjoyed Derek Carr, and will go down as a guy that almost unfulfilled. It was almost like a what if. Injuries set him back. Situations at times set him back. Derek, I don't know who the comp is right now, JJ, as far as that guy that he's a good quarterback and put him in another situation and he'll be better or I'm happy with him. I'm scouring the league right now. I'm really struggling to find that. Is it Tua?
Tua won't be better in another situation. Like offensively, best they can get two ridiculously fast wide receivers that create separation in space. What Tua needs is an on-time quarterback built on accuracy.
Yeah. Derek was good. Derek was a good dude. I feel in a large respect for Kellen Moore as a first-time head coach. And again, there's only 32 of these jobs, so you take them when you get an opportunity. But he's got to pick between Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener, who he went back and forth between last year. And now his second-round pick, Tyler Shuck, out of Louisville. And my money's probably on Tyler Shuck. I've seen Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener play at the NFL level. I don't think they're it. Do you?
I would not put my money on any of those guys right now.
So you think the quarterback's not in the building yet?
I think Shuck will play more games than anyone else this year.
Okay.
You say, all right, who could they bring in? Well, they're not going to bring in anyone that makes you feel great about that quarterback room at this point in the process. I think who they would bring in would just be an adult in the room.
So who's that? I mean, who's the Joe Flacco kind of a guy? I don't even know who's available to do that. I mean, it's not Carson Wentz. He's just not good enough. Right?
Carson Wentz would absolutely be a great person to have in that quarterback.
So you think that might be
someone that's been there, done that?
Okay.
Like, get you by a game or two. Like, you're hoping that you have something to Shuck. Maybe you can develop a good quarterback. But I think you look at, Haener and Rattler and Shuck, like, to me, especially going into camp, like, having a guy there, I think is just huge. Like, just been through it, set the tone. Yeah, you're all professionals, but you can learn something from these guys. Like, there's a reason, Joe Flacco's been able to hang around.
But he wins a game. He wins you games still, right?
Okay. We don't know if Carson Wentz could win a game for the Saints.
I agree with that.
No one thought Joe Flacco was going to win any games before he got that.
But Joe Flacco had
more that opportunity.
Joe Flacco had more success. What about Kirk Cousins there? I mean, does he get you through a year?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that might be more the answer.
Money tie up in Atlanta if they can.
Well, you're gonna have to get Atlanta to eat the money because
but if you're Atlanta, do you want to get out of that deal bad enough to send him into a division round?
Yeah, I mean, I want out. And if I don't believe in him, then I don't believe in him, right? If I'm them, I want out. What about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yes.
He's the backup with the Rams right now. I mean, Brett Rippon doesn't do much. I'm just looking at rosters that have a bunch of quarterbacks. That there might be someone that you could go take a shot at and bring in, to your point, the adult in the room. There's not that many dudes out there. To me, Kirk Cousins is the best answer.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins would be fascinating there.
That's the best answer, I think.
It's the best answer.
But yeah, they got to somehow make it work too. 505-246-0610. I got other NFL stuff for you as well. Rookie camps are going on. Browns have a couple of rookie quarterbacks. You might have heard of them. I wanted to let you know how that went down this weekend. We got Burger Week coming up. Specials for you at 8:20. We'll have the keyword for the backyard blowout coming up at 8:55. So stick around with us. We'll get all that stuff for you. Who's watching your home? If you're not home right now, who's watching it? Hopefully it's the good guys. I was out doing yard work yesterday. IPS rolled up just to make sure everything was good. They come by my house every single day. When I'm gone, they do exterior checks, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day, pick up newspapers, mail, packages that you might have left. They take care of your home because the bad guys are out there, because property crime is real and the officer shortage continues to be an issue. IPS provides standing guards. If you want eyes on your property around the clock, they'll do that for you. Home and business. They'll install alarms, camera systems. They've got a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. It all raises the level of security around your home and your business. So who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys. Don't wait to be a victim. It's then too late. Be proactive with this. Call IPS. Ask them about what they can do for you. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They are online at ipsglobal.com.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop. My family, me and my friends, in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili.
Thursday night, they'll be in the opener. I don't know, go ahead and tell me, where's Omar? Most valuable franchise in the world. Everybody wants to see your team. How will you remember Derek Carr, I asked you. AC said Derek Carr equals UNM Lobos regular season success, no postseason success. Okay. Rod said Derek Carr equals Tavaka Jefferson. It seems like we waited a decade for these guys to arrive, but they never did because of injuries, coaching changes, etc. You can add Luke Weissong to that list. Watch Luke have a year this year. What about Luke has a year at Arizona this year?
I think Luke had a pretty good year last year.
He had a pretty good year last year. He arrived last year, too. Hence the NIL money that he's getting at Arizona this year. Did feel like Tavaka was here for, I don't know, a century, didn't it? The whole Bob Davie era to me is the Tavaka era. Right? It was like every year he's going to be the quarterback and he would get hurt. And then it was, is he ready to play this week? Is he ready to play this week? He played. He had a really good game. He had a good drive against Wisconsin. Oh, did you see that one drive against? Yeah, we all saw it. They lost 42-7, but yeah.
Should have never changed the offense.
Away from the option.
Yep.
They were the leading rushing team in America in 2016. The leading rushing team. They were 9-4, won a bowl game. They were exciting that year. I know people didn't want to go out and watch it for whatever reason. It's kind of crazy, actually. I guess because they didn't throw the ball enough. But when you got dudes, anytime can bust a 75-yard run, and they did it frequently, I never understood why people didn't go out and watch that team. Was it Terrion Gibson, right? And was it McCorley, running back? I'll tell you why I know a little bit. I had to change out my DVR the other day. I
still have some games from.
I had games that I called, and so I was going back through and looking. There was that New Mexico State game from I think it was 16. Remember the Lobos went to Rutgers the next week. New Mexico State beat them 32-31. I was watching the game with Addie, and I honestly didn't remember who won the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a cool watch.
So you had Terrion Gibson, Tyrone Owens, Richard McCorley.
Yeah, Richard McCorley.
But in Lamar Jordan.
Yeah. How many 1,000-yard rushers were on that team?
They had two.
So was it Jordan and no, Jordan wasn't. So certainly it was Gibson.
The 9-4 season where they won.
Gibson and Owens.
Gibson and Owens. Gibson had 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. Owen had 1,097 yards, 7 touchdowns.
How many touchdowns did McCorley have? Because all he did was score. Yeah, McScorley. Remember?
He still put up 656.
18 touchdowns on the ground.
Mm-hmm. So they had 48 rushing touchdowns.
38?
48 as a team.
How many did Lamar have?
Lamar had 3, but he also had 739 yards rushing.
And he threw the ball pretty well.
Well, Austin Apodaca threw the ball.
That's right. They had the 2 quarterbacks that year. Yeah. That was, honestly, that was a fun team. I know people didn't go. I told you the story a million times. We were it was Thanksgiving weekend. I was in Anaheim. At Anaheim Hilton. We were there for the one of our ESPN events, basketball events, and New Mexico, Wyoming was on in the bar. They had 7 screens up in the bar there, and I was with my boss at ESPN, and we were talking about something. And we're going to put New Mexico, because at that point I was pretty sure we're taking New Mexico. I remember the Lobos were playing they had an opportunity to win a championship. The next week they played Colorado State. Every time we'd look up, there was a dude in red running down the field. And I remember at one point he cut me off mid-sentence and was like, well, how come? They showed the stands. He's like, what's the deal with that? It's like, dude, they're an 8-win team. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm dealing with here. Yes.
Well, I remember specifically that Wyoming game kicked off at 8:45 at night.
It was late and it was chilly, but it was a good football team. And we talk about all the time.
So 8:45.
Winning solves problems, right? It was late. Yeah, it was late. It was a good football team too. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails: Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com and JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. Let's get into some mini camps. Travis Hunter was at mini camp. The Browns have quarterbacks at minicamp. You're out at United over the weekend. Alex Tambakis, their goalie, got red carded and run. How'd you feel about that? Jeff Zimbietta, JJ Buckets, the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network.
every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International.
FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Your home for the NFL, the Super Bowl, the NCAA tournament, and the Final Four. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, it's hamburger week around here. We're going to have specials for you, having sweet deals all week. JJ, get a little breakfast? Green chili cheeseburger back there, Fuddruckers. Got bacon, cheeseburger, whatever. I mean, fries sauce. Breakfast of Champions. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, thank you for joining us on a Monday morning coming off a weekend. Thunder last night or yesterday over the Nuggets, 92-87. Pacers beat the Cavs, 129-109. You get Knicks and Celtics game 4 tonight in New York. Knicks are leading that series 2-1. And the Wolves and Warriors in San Francisco with Minnesota up on Golden State, 2-1. Still no Stephen Curry tonight. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck coming off a Mother's Day weekend. You had mini camps this week, and there's a lot of these rookie camps to look at, right? And I think the two that maybe you're looking at, and of course your team, and the big news in the NFL today, by the way, there was big news this morning, as the schedule leaks. Cowboys will open up the season on that Thursday night at Philadelphia. It's a big deal on that first game. All right. Browns took Dylan Gabriel, 94th pick, third round. 50 spots later, they drafted Shedeur Sanders. So they got two rookie quarterbacks. They got Joe Flacco. They got Deshaun Watson. They got a crowded. Who else is there? There's somebody else there. Who else am I forgetting?
Oh, the Browns. So you got Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. We can keep saying Deshaun Watson's there, but back-to-back Achilles injuries. Yeah. Like, what is he?
He's in the room, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Dylan Gabriel, the former Oregon quarterback, amongst other things, was asked how he felt about, he got drafted third round, then they got Shedeur. How do you feel? Quote, yeah, I love it. I love it because of who it is. I think just for both of us, you can learn from one another, end quote. Right answer as opposed to, well, it sucked. I was
thinking I was going to have a great opportunity.
Yeah, no, it just totally
and everyone thinks this guy's going to start the most games for the Browns.
Right. I mean, look, Dylan Gabriel in college started 63 games. And he's preparing, he says, if he's going to be the starter. Quote, I only know one way to prepare. I only know one way to work, and that's as the starter. I played a bunch of ball. I got a lot of experience, so I'm used to that. I'm going to use that to my advantage. I got to continue to dominate the moment and have great practices. The Browns obviously thought higher of him than Shedeur. They drafted him higher, right? Or is that not the case? Is it some sort of other slip? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they had him.
I don't know if you can look at it any other way.
Right?
I think Dylan Gabriel has a great chance in this. I liked him a lot. Now, I thought he'd be more of a few games guy, but have a 10-year career in the NFL. But if you're just talking about the type of quarterback Shedeur Sanders is, it's not far off from what Dylan Gabriel was.
Better quarterback, Tyler Shuck, New Orleans, coming out of Louisville, or Dylan Gabriel.
I think Dylan Gabriel's a better quarterback, but people like Shuck because they feel there's maybe a bigger arm, more of a higher ceiling, so they talk themselves into that of going, this guy
bigger, right? He's
bigger,
a bigger
faster,
kid.
Stronger.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more there than just maybe the dink and dunk with Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, it's just a bigger, stronger arm, like that prototypical. Yeah, But how many prototypical? Like honestly, I don't even know what prototypical means anymore. But that bigger, strong arm, more pocket passer. Like I look around the league. What are there? 4 or 5 of them left, and all of them can move a little bit. And I think Tyler Shuck can move. Don't get me wrong. You think of Justin Herbert as a pocket passer, but he's super athletic when he gets out of the pocket. Trevor Lawrence might be your guy. Certainly, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, Jared Goff is that guy. Matthew Stafford's that guy. But I don't know that there's a lot more after that. I mean, you got a bunch of them. I don't think Joe Burrow is just a prototypical pocket passer. Do you? They all get out.
You win from the pocket, but you got to be able to move in the pocket.
I think the evolution is you become more of a pocket passer. I agree with you, right? If you come out of school and you're a runner, that's only going to last so long. Ask Anthony Richardson, right? You've got to learn how to win from the pocket. But I like Dylan Gabriel's chances too. You like Jackson Dart, Giants quarterback? Made his debut on the field Friday at rookie minicamp. He may be the guy. I think that is that their plan? I mean, what do you think their plan is?
Yes, it's their plan.
Well,
maybe not initially, but you trade back up into the first.
No, but
round.
I mean day one. Day one is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. I mean, give me my chance with give me Jackson Dart. Let me see what the rookie can do. Let's go. I watched.
Gotta be able to, and here's the thing: you got to be able to take your lumps with young quarterbacks.
Well, I agree with that. And
it's because are we looking at a Bryce Young situation? Because what's the moment?
Well,
you pull back on it versus hey, it's a rookie quarterback. Let's play through it.
All right, so we're looking at extremes, right? Look at the success rookie quarterbacks had last year. Now you tell me what the trend is. Is it Bryce Young having to just absolutely just get pummeled for a year, and Bryce Young, after getting benched, came back and won his job back? Or is it what Caleb Williams, more so Jaden Daniels did, Bo Nix did? I thought
Bryce Young only got his job back because Andy Dalton got in a car accident.
That's 100% right, but he won his job back. Like, he won his job back to where this year he's their quarterback, is my point. Right? Yeah, they had nowhere else to go, so they had to play him. But then he won his damn job back, right? They didn't go out and get another quarterback this year, did they?
Not to take over.
Right. So, what's the trend? Is it what we saw last year with, guy in New England, guy in Denver, guy in Washington, guy, or is it more likely to be the lumps you had to take in year one with Bryce Young?
More likely the lumps you have to take in year one.
You think that's the way they're looking at it? They think they got a special dude.
No one looks at it that way. But it's when it happens, how do you handle it?
All right. I will, if I said the number's 2.5 rookie quarterbacks on opening day, and I'm looking at Cleveland, I'm looking at New Orleans, I'm looking at the Giants, and I'm looking at Tennessee. Actually, I'd almost have to say 3.5 would be the number to make you think. Because Tennessee's going to have a rookie quarterback, right? I kind of feel, well, I don't know. Maybe 2.5 is the number. What do you think the number will be rookie quarterbacks on opening day? Because you're looking at Tennessee, Cleveland, the Giants, and New Orleans, right? Anywhere else I'm looking at a rookie? I'm not looking anywhere else. Am I? No, that's it. I mean, you don't consider J.J. McCarron a rookie. I'm sorry, J.J. McCarthy a rookie because he was drafted last year. He may be making his first start. Would you say 3 is the number? Joe Flacco may win the job. Russell Wilson may win the job.
I would say 2.
2. Who's going to be the second? Tyler Shuck?
Probably Shuck.
Okay. So you don't think Jackson Dart wins that job right away, and you don't think one of the rookies wins the job in Cleveland? I'm not going to be surprised if Cleveland goes with one of the rookies. I'm not. I know Joe Flacco's there. He's the adult in the room. But That won't surprise me at all.
So you're thinking 3?
I think 3. Yeah. But, I mean,
this is a great time for Cleveland to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like this year traded back an extra pick next year. All right, see Gabriel Sanders, who wins the trust of everyone throughout camp. Let him play. Then I think Kenny Pickett becomes someone that probably lands somewhere else. It's just, hey, we need another arm type of deal.
New Orleans.
Goes to New Orleans at this point, and we see that. So I could absolutely see one of those quarterbacks being the best, and Joe Flacco just sitting back, kind of mentoring those young guys.
Pulling in more checks.
Getting paid.
Yeah. That's how I think it's going to happen. All right, when we get back, I want to get into Travis Hunter, what he did, and what side of the ball you think he's going to play. We're going to have a sweet deal for you as well. It's Burger Week. Oh, we get fed. We get breakfast. Eating a lot. Did you get some burgers? I mean, before the sales staff gets in, you should get out. I'm just saying. And then we'll give you the keyword for the backyard blowout coming up at 8:55 this morning. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. John Thomas Jewelers. That's my jeweler. They will be yours as well once you walk in the door. 3rd floor, Lewis University Building, 2440 Louisiana Northeast. They've got 3,000 plus men's and ladies bridal rings right now on hand for you to try on. If you don't like one of the 3,000 they got, they'll make it for you. And they'll make it for you in their beautiful on-site, state-of-the-art design center. I watched them do this stuff. It's pretty amazing, the whole process. I bought stuff from John. It works. It hits every time, every single time. They've got the only free lifetime warranty nationwide in Albuquerque. Whether it's an engagement ring, whether it's an anniversary ring, whether it's a graduation gift, whether it's maybe something just for you, you're going to go in and you're going to find something you love. Go by. See why John Thomas Jewelers is the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. They're the fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years. They've been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years. Even the coolest jewelry store in America by In-Store Magazine. So many reasons to see for yourself why John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in Albuquerque. Visit them on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University Building, 2440 Louisiana Northeast. Suite 310, John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Yeah, this is one where like you say it and then you know it, but then you think about it and you're like,
That's not right.
it's not right. You know, is they just doing it to differentiate between, Cincinnati, and it's kind of like Kansas and Kentucky, and they kind of
So
do
Kansas
differently.
is KU, Kansas University, and Kentucky is UK, University of Kentucky, right? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Travis Hunter worked with the wide receivers this weekend at minicamp. Their new coach there is Liam Cohn. He told reporters Saturday that the comeback training will begin or the cornerback training will begin next week. He said that Hunter has been able to dive in and learn some of the 3 deep coverages, and that the team thought it was best to limit it to one side of the ball at his initial practice. Hunter said, quote, just got to get used to it. There's a lot of different types of calls. Other than that, defense is pretty easy. Just got to get used to the defense. He will be used both ways. They're going to find a way. He's just too damn good, dude.
Yeah, you trade up for him because you're guaranteed a good player on one side or the other. And to me, even if he didn't work out as a two-way player, like the risk was limited with him because he's going to play someone, as opposed to just a wide receiver that flames out or a cornerback that flames out. Like, he has 2 opportunities to be a difference maker on the field. I expect him to play both ways, and I expect him to be good at least one of those things at a high level in the NFL.
Yeah. Which way? If you had a bet, which way?
I think he ends up playing more offense.
I think so too, but I think he would be better. Like, if you were going to ask me which way would he be elite, I feel like he would be better. He had a better chance of being an elite cornerback defense. But I agree with you. I think they're going to play him more on offense. It's just the way it feels like where it's going. He's terrific both ways. And I want to. He can't play 100-something plays a game. He just can't, right? In the NFL.
Yeah. But I think where the Jags get the most out of him, if he becomes a lockdown corner, but I think he'll be a legit wide receiver number 2 opposite Brian Thomas, and Trevor Lawrence set up offensively to have a fantastic season if it clicks with Cohen in year 1, and then work him in as number 2 cornerback, but even as a slot corner, like get him on the field, and that's where you can limit some of his reps on defense, where he's not just
play him in special situations.
Boundary corner. He has to be out there every possession, but he come in, slot, guard some people.
I don't have a problem with that. I think that he's elite defensively. I think he's really, really, really good. And you're going to tell me, Jeff, did you see some of these catches? Yeah, no, I saw them. And I think he can be elite either way. And if he just went one way, I think he would be elite no matter which way he did it. And he may still be. But for me, it's harder to find a stud corner. It's just harder for me. It's harder on that side of the ball to just find someone who lights it up there. I don't know. What's more valuable to you? Which way?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's totally fair. All right. This is Beyond. I had breakfast this morning. Look, it's on my shirt. I already have fry sauce on my shirt. Tamara's here from Fuddruckers. Man, it's good to see you.
Yay! Good morning to you. I am fabulous.
How was
I'm
Mother's
great.
Day?
Very nice Mother's Day. I went out to the ranch and back this morning to be with y'all.
And had breakfast at Fuddruckers this morning.
Breakfast burgers, that's what we're calling it.
And thank you for breakfast. I had the
You're
green
most
chili
welcome.
cheeseburger this morning. It is Burger Week, and we've got a sweet deal for you at Fuddruckers, which has been a longtime partner of us here at the Sports Animal, and certainly on the opening drive. A longtime partner of us at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. They feed our staff. Bowl Week, you guys live at our place, and we're so grateful for what you do. They have the world's greatest burger, and currently they're featuring the world's greatest offer, a 3rd-pound burger, fries, and a cookie. It's only $7.99 over at Fuddruckers, and make sure you join their loyalty program over at fudsburger.com. You got great stuff going on over at Fuddruckers.
We do. We're keeping that in, we call it the inflation buster, but we're keeping that world's greatest offer going. Just a great deal. You just can't beat it. And it's all day long, all 3 locations. So, and then, you get that burger and you can still take it and build it how you want
The
it.
beauty is you do what you want, right?
Absolutely.
You get your burger, you go over to the condiment bar, you load it up how you want with whatever sauces you want or don't want, whatever condiments you want or don't want, and you load it up and it is that good. Remember when, was it Michael Ann did that, what was that, pound?
We do that twice a year, the 3-pound burger challenge.
You tried it, didn't you?
3-pound burger challenge.
JJ tried it.
Yes, I think JJ did too.
It was the fries and the bun that got you, wasn't it?
Yes, it just is a lot of
I couldn't get through
food,
the
but
bun.
it's a super
He
fun.
said he couldn't get through the bun.
We have the pounders every day, so that's a fun one too.
The pounders?
Yeah, some people come and split it up, and the whole family will eat it, or it's a fun one.
That's a lot of meal.
That's another great thing. We can do any size patty that you want.
Where? How many locations do you have right now?
We have 3 locations here in Albuquerque.
I'm sorry,
Coronado, Yale and Gibson down by the airport, UNM, and then we are also on Jefferson and I-25.
So make them part of your lunch rotation and your dinner rotation. Here's what we got for you. Go to our website, sportsanimалabq.com, and you do it at 9 o'clock because I do believe these are going to go quickly. For just $30, you get $60 to spend at Fuddruckers. That's a lot of free Fuds, and you'll eat great. Remember Fuddruckers for your catering. And again, you not only feed our staff during Bowl Week, you do one of our happy hours that we do each year for the bowl game in October. Our board, our sponsors love it. Every event I go to that Fuddruckers caters, it's delicious. So whether you got graduation parties coming up and you're still trying to figure that out.
Memorial Day, 4th of July, all those things are great for your burger bars.
Yeah, so. and it's a big, it's not just summer, but summer, it's burgers, man.
Absolutely.
But you don't just do burgers.
Oh yeah, our catering, we do all types of food. So it can be that burger bar, it can be something completely different. So we do it all.
All right, think of Fuddruckers and think of them on your sweet deal. Did I miss anything on you?
No, I think we've covered it all. Just enjoying the different options at Fuddruckers with everything fresh, whether you order it online, pick it up, it's delivered, or the catering. We do it all.
So good. It's just so good, and you win every time. Keep the fry sauce off your shirt.
Yeah, we've got fry sauce out there, the cheese sauce, all the goodies today.
Excuse me. Thank you. It's always good to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having us kick off your burger week.
Yeah, please do get in on this. Tamara's here. Her deal is, and it's a spectacular one. Go to our website. Hit it at 9 o'clock because it's going to go quick. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the Sweet Deal logo, and for $30, you get $60 worth of deliciousness at Fuddruckers, featuring the world's greatest hamburger and the world's greatest offer. Remember, a third-pound burger, fries, and a cookie, and it's only $7.99. I'll see you soon. I know I will.
Thank you.
It's the opening drive. He's J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Simpieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Chili Traditions. Come smell the official state of...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Riddle me this, Batman. You end up with the first pick in the NBA draft. Do you want Cooper Flagg? Well, yes, but hold on, wait. Or would you rather use that pick and get Giannis Antetokounmpo? Giannis has said that he's open to exploring. This is the first time he said this. That he's open to exploring best fits outside of Milwaukee. So what could that mean? If you got the number one pick. Now, if you're Milwaukee, you probably say, all right, Giannis is going to go at some point. If I can get Cooper Flagg for him, let's go. Let's package something up and make this work. The draft lottery, JJ, is tonight, correct? Before the Celtics and Knicks game?
That is correct.
There's some teams in there. Look, I don't know that it makes sense for the Wizards to say, and he's not going to Wizards. So if it's the Wizards, if it's the Jazz, you probably take, Cooper Flagg feels like, and I feel horrible saying, well, that feels like he fits in Utah, but right?
Okay.
No, right? But tell me, am I wrong?
Of the lottery teams,
yeah,
that have a chance to land the number one overall pick, I think there's only one destination that Giannis would say yes to. So this isn't just, hey, I'm the number one overall pick, I'm trading him for Giannis. Giannis is, even with a no-trade clause, which he doesn't have, so he can't say...
Is it Philly?
It'd be Philadelphia. Giannis and Joel. Because sure, if you know Giannis isn't going to be there and you get Cooper Flag, you're going to do it. But do you think Giannis is going to really sign up to get traded to the Pelicans?
No.
Get traded to the Nets?
Now there's outside chance that you got bottom of the odds on the ping pong ball. Lottery teams there's some playoff teams in there, like San Antonio's in there. They're not a playoff team, I understand, but with Victor Wembanyama, and they've got the 8th odds to get the number 1 pick. Houston's 9th. Dallas is in there. Atlanta. San Antonio's got 2 lottery picks. I mean, if something crazy happens where San Antonio and or Houston and or like Dallas or something, because of all these trades, you're like, holy bleep, something crazy could happen. I think if I'm any of these teams, Utah, Washington, Charlotte, Giannis isn't coming here. And so give me a flagpole, so to speak, to plant my franchise around and start building something. I know the Wizards are trying to do it like Oklahoma City did. They feel that they're trying to put together, like they're horrible. They were 18-64. Who's their best player? Is it Malcolm Brogdon? Like, who's the best player in the Wizards? They got guys making money. Jordan Poole's making almost $30 million. But can you believe
He's not their best player.
Can you believe Jordan Poole's making $30 million?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just crazy to me. Who is their best player? Chris Middleton? He's kind of done, right? You think Cooper Flag's just going, please no? Where do you think he wants to go? Not that it matters. Charlotte a better spot for him? Is Utah's the spot for him, isn't it?
Well, Charlotte would be. Duke kid go into the Hornets?
Yeah. Yeah, but he's from Maine, so it's like he's only spent 1 year down there.
For the fan base.
Yeah, for the fan base it would. But I mean, for him? And what do they got? Who's their best player? They got a ball.
LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, they got a ball. I don't know. The lottery's tonight, though, and somebody's going to get stoked because they're going to get Cooper Flag. But if something fluky happens and it does slip all the way down, and like if Houston gets that pick,
then
we got to start having that conversation, right?
Yes. Houston's thinking about Giannis because at that point in time, it's right, number 1 overall pick changes what you have to give up.
Of course.
Which is, it's you're telling Milwaukee, right, you're getting Cooper Flag, and we'll throw in like Jalen Green, but you can't ask for more than that.
They can ask for whatever they want, and because Giannis is the difference maker there. You don't give up Amen Thompson, right? He's the untouchable to me. I mean, you want Dylan Brooks, you can have Dylan Brooks, but I don't think anybody wants Dylan Brooks.
Even with Cooper Flag, like if they said, "Hey, Cooper Flag and Amen Thompson," I'd probably still do it.
You would. I would. That's what I would want. I would ask for that if I'm them.
Sengun or Thompson. You'd ideally like to keep one of those guys in Houston.
And Sengun's going to be the dude because you're getting a big in. If you're giving up your big, but Cooper Flag's a big, but he's a different kind of a big. I mean, you'd love Sengun back in that deal if you're Milwaukee. What if it's Sengun and Cooper Flag? Houston doing it? Hell yes, they are.
So then Giannis and Thompson
and Green,
Jalen Green, go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch today. But that's before the Knicks game tonight, and then you get the Knicks and the Celtics. That game starts tonight at 5:30 our time. The late game tonight is Minnesota Golden State. ESPN's your network tonight as you go back and forth between there and the Turner networks. But give it a look tonight and see where it goes. Again, your top teams are Utah. What is it? Utah, Washington, Charlotte, I believe is right in the draft lottery. I just had it up.
Utah, Washington, Charlotte have 14% odds. Okay. Pelicans 12.5%, 76ers 10.5%, Nets 9%, Raptors 7.5%.
Nobody's got great. I mean, it's. Do you know what the process is? So they put balls in, and then they spin them around, and then they empty the balls out, and that's why it's not on TV, because it would take a month.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of time.
But they've got people in there, obviously, I hope, making sure, like Ernst & Young or whoever is in there, making sure it's okay. I hope. Because, well, you got a lot of conspiracy theories out there. All right, we're going to get into some hoops when we get back. 505-246-0610. So it's the Jazz, Wizards, Hornets have the best shot. You said 14%? Pelicans 12.5%, Sixers 10.5%, Nets 9%, and Raptors 7.5%. Okay. Yeah, you wrote that all out for me. Thank you. I just missed it. All right, when we get back, I want to hit some local stuff. Local baseball over the weekend. They put themselves in a position, they're going to be in the postseason, but they put themselves in a position to win a conference. They got beat in the finale yesterday, but they got one more series left. We're going to get into that. New Mexico United had their streak snapped at home over the weekend, so we'll get into all of those things. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 505-246-0610. Your emails are coming in. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Miss Twin Peaks voting is open, and it is still open for you. Miss Twin Peaks 2025. Go to 2025misstwinpeaks.com. Do that through June 9th. You can cast your vote for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. And then, coming up on May 17th, which is this week, raise a glass on World Whiskey Day. Try a new favorite. Stick with one you love. It's all served over a crystal clear ice ball if that's the way you like it. And if you're looking for something exclusive, ask about the Twin Peaks Rare Bourbons and Barrel Selects. They're available in limited supply. It's great whiskey. It's even better company. It's all waiting for you over at Twin Peaks. Meanwhile, the conference semifinals are going. The conference finals tip off May 20th through June 2nd in the NBA. Twin Peaks is there to catch every single moment of it. Watch on wall-to-wall TVs. You get 29-degree drafts, an atmosphere made for the serious fans. And May 25th, National Wine Day. You can ask a Twin Peaks girl for a pour of your favorite red or white and celebrate Vino Lodge style. If you're hungry late, grab a hand-stretched flatbread for just $8 from 10 p.m. to close. Sunday through Thursday from hoops to wine, Twin Peaks has your May covered.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
Season. Lobos dropped the series finale to Air Force yesterday 5-4. So they lose 2 of 3 up there. They come home tied for second place with Fresno State. 16-11 in conference, one game behind league-leading Nevada, who's 17-10. Lobos will play 3 with Fresno State. Coming up this weekend, they can, if they win that series and Nevada gets one more loss than they do, they can claim a share of the league. Like if they sweep and Nevada loses 2, then they win outright. But we'll get Todd Brown on at some point this week, and we'll talk to him about Lobo baseball, but having a pretty good season. They're 29-20 overall. 16-11 in conference play, and we'll have an opportunity coming up at Santa Ana Star Field this weekend with their finale. 3 games against Fresno State. JJ, over the weekend, New Mexico United had their 4-game home win streak stopped. They lost 2-1 to Phoenix Rising. Rising scored in the 12th minute, kind of a weird little fluky goal that just kind of trickled past Alex Tambakis and over the line. And then weird moment in the 57th minute, Tambakis came off his line, took down the Phoenix Rising attacker, and he was shown a red card for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. I don't know. I looked at it. It seemed pretty obvious. I know United fan was pretty upset about it.
Yeah, you're that far out of the box. You take down a player in transition. You can argue all you want about where the defender was. Was it obvious in terms of the goal-scoring opportunity after that? It, to me, wasn't shocking that it was a straight red to the goalkeeper. You're down a man. You give up the second goal a little bit after that and fall home to Phoenix.
They scored late in I think the 84th minute. Explain the rule, because I don't know that I knew it. Once it was explained to me, I looked at it and I'm like, well, yeah, that kind of feels like that's exactly what I was just explaining. Like that felt fairly textbook.
Yeah, whether it's goalkeeper or even a defender, if you think of it, transition opportunity. In basketball, how they
like a breakaway foul,
penalized it a lot more now. You can't just foul someone and be like, oh, side out. No, it's free throws. You get the ball back. In this case, denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, straight red card.
All right, so they've lost 2 in a row. They slipped into 3rd place behind San Antonio and Monterey Bay, but just 1 point behind both of them. So they're still in a good place, even though they've dropped 2 in a row. But losing at home, so they've lost to their 2 rivals. And every game I look, well, rival. Do they get Colorado Springs next? Can we call them a rival? I don't even know who's next.
Yeah, I think those 3.
Yeah.
If you feel rivals overused, they're the ones they play a lot. It's similar to if you're in a division and it's you're playing Kansas City and the Chargers or the Raiders a bunch, and that's kind of the vibe you've gotten with definitely El Paso, Phoenix, and Colorado Springs.
Okay. I still think they're pretty good. And you play, a 6-7 month schedule. You're going to drop a couple along the way. But I think they're fine. And Tambakis have been great. I think clean sheets for every home game, right? That was the first goals they gave up at home this year, if I'm not mistaken, in league play. I know they lost the Open Cup game across the street when El Paso beat them. But, if you were out there, love your thoughts on it. But United gets beat 2-1. The odds the United and Isotopes get beat by the same score on the same night. That never. That might
very low.
Might never have happened before. That might have been a first. Isotopes and United both got beat 2-1 on Saturday night. Because Isotope games are never 2-1.
No.
Ever.
Rare.
Yeah. Yeah. So that might have been, I don't know, for whoever Elias Sports Bureau is locally, maybe that's Rick Wright. But if you want to look that up and see if that was the first time ever, I'm going to guess it might have been. But that was a total anomaly if you're out there. All right. What else locally this weekend? And that was the big stuff. I did get a email. We were talking about that 2016 Lobo football team that led the nation in rushing. Mike said Cole Ouchie was also Bob Davie. Remember, Jeff, Colorado State took Wysong out. He missed the Wyoming game, and he wasn't the same player. Do you mean Ouchie? Cole got hurt a lot, dude. Somebody just told me they ran into Cole recently. Can I tell you this? I think I told you this back in the day. I thought Cole Gauchi ran the option as well as almost anybody I've ever seen. Like, as far as reads and when to run, he was such a tough runner. His problem was he put his head down and tried to run through linebackers and kept getting concussed. But I thought his decision-making on the option was as good as anybody I've seen in the last decade, 2 decades.
He was an excellent option quarterback.
His problem was he just didn't know when to get down, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, he put his head
hurt.
down and tried to run through dudes.
Because he was gigantic.
Yeah, he was a big dude. No, he was really good. And then I know he went to those passing camps and struggled throwing the football, but yeah, he was fun, man. He was, if he'd have stayed healthy, I really believe that, well, he was pretty good.
The wild thing about it,
yeah,
which made zero sense to me, is, all right, you feel Cole Gauchi, too many injuries to play quarterback, so they're like, why don't you try tight end for your last season?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that didn't work very well. I mean, local kid who played his guts out. He did. And had a lot of success doing what he did. He just couldn't stay healthy because the style of play. Is that why Bob switched offense? Because he kept getting quarterbacks hurt in that option? It was a talent revision too, right?
Yeah, they have that type of quarterback to keep it going.
All right, you're on the phones at 505-246-0610. We're going to get into that when we get back. Got NBA tonight. Big NFL news over the weekend, and schedule is starting to drip. Got the Cowboys opener. Who they're going to play, when they're going to play, where they're going to play. It's the opening drive. He's J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Sweet Deal goes live in about 4 minutes on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Let me give you the backyard. I'll give it to you right when we come back. I will give you the keyword for the backyard blow-up right when we come back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420. 888-522-2020 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born.
But I don't think Tambakis got the ball first. I think it was a good call.
The same opportunity.
Yeah, he was out of position, in my opinion. And then also, I wanted to comment on this. The NBA rule number 10, it states that a player who is dribbling may not put any part of his hand under the ball. I want you to watch Jalen Brunson when he plays the next time. This guy, he's carrying the ball. He takes 2 or 3 steps each time. I mean, it's just, to me, they had to do away with the rule, I guess is my point, because you're seeing a lot of people do that nowadays. But in my day, it was they would call it on you. But anyway, you guys have a great day.
You too. Yeah, no, look, carrying is, it's got to be insanely egregious and obvious, right, at this point, for it to be a carry? Like, I mean, you almost never see it.
Yes.
And I don't disagree with him. I think they carry it all the time. I think it happens all the time. On Tambakis, yeah, I thought out of position. I mean, JJ, this is more your beat than mine. But I thought, when I looked.
Well, it's one of those things you see in soccer. If there's, a break coming the other way, and a keeper can try to get aggressive, and in that case, he got caught in no man's land because a lot of times they just try to get to the ball first and just punt it out of play. Yep. And then get back, and he realized, well, this was a terrible decision. What am I going to do now? And ends up taking down the defender.
Yeah. All right, if you were there, I'd love to hear your thoughts. 505-246-0610. It came down this morning as the NFL schedule will be announced on Wednesday. Starting to drip a little bit. The Cowboys will be in that first game of the year. Eagles, of course, as the defending Super Bowl champions, get to host the opener on Thursday night. They will play the Dallas Cowboys at Lincoln Financial Field. It'll be Thursday, September 4. That'll be nationally televised. Dak Prescott, that'll be the coaching debut for your new head coach. And you get prime time. Whether that's good or bad, we'll find out, right? But that'll be that. Other news this morning. Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the first time, has said that he would be open to exploring options outside of the Milwaukee Bucks. He's not firm on his. Look, there's 3 years and $173+ million left on his deal, something crazy like that. So this isn't an easy deal. I just trade him or no. I mean, this has to all pencil out. But they've gone out in the first round 3 straight years. And for the first time, he has said, yeah, I'm open to exploring whether the best long-term fit is somewhere else. Can I tell you something else? I always thought he was going to end up with the Lakers. Now, I don't think he ends up with the Lakers with LeBron and Luka. But something always told me when LeBron left, he was going to end up there. Do you think that's still way far-fetched, or is the timing just not going to work?
I don't think it's far-fetched. I think any superstar, you just think in the back of your head somehow, some way, the Lakers are going to land that player. Now, can it be this offseason? Doesn't quite look like it. Is there still time in terms of Giannis coming back and then really getting antsy after this season? That's entirely possible, because this is now everyone is just kicking the tires, saying, all right, we won't immediately say no. We'll answer the phone. We'll talk about what you can do to get a player like that, and everyone in the back of their minds going, we move some pieces for Giannis, because he's that good of a player. He's an NBA champion. He's an MVP. Things that I guess we forget about quickly in sport if you don't win 3 in a row.
There's very few players like him right now in this league. Right? The Luka trade was a earth shifter. It was. There's very few players in this league that if they got traded, it would shift everything and create the stir that did. Steph Curry would be one of them. LeBron James still, I think, would be one of them. Jason Tatum would probably be one of them. Nikola Jokic would be one of them. Probably Anthony Edwards. And certainly still Giannis Antetokounmpo, no? I mean, there's not many more.
There's not.
This would be a landscape shifter. And the fact that he said he's open to it is going to send every market, well, what if we give up this? What if we give up this? What if we, look, with all due respect, Charlotte, he ain't coming. With all due respect, Washington, he's not coming. Utah, But Houston, yeah. Dallas, sure. Well, let me throw something stupid out. Because they're both up. Is there any Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo trade combo that works? There's just no way they trade superstars and try to make it happen.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's not a superstar. I'm getting 2 years of Kevin Durant,
and they got they got nothing else to give up. I mean, there's just nothing else there.
No.
How does he get to New York? Because New York will be in this. New York will absolutely be in this conversation. Does that involve Cat?
Karl Anthony Towns,
Mikal Bridges, but they're not going to give up Mikal Bridges, right?
Bridges, OG.
I could see it being Cat and OG and, I mean, Hart. Brunson's the only non-touchable for them, right?
Brunson is not untouchable.
Really?
No.
Okay. His daddy's on the bench, too. All right. I could see the Knicks absolutely being in play here. Oklahoma City doesn't probably need that, right? Because that doesn't work there. Houston absolutely works.
The answer is Giannis works everywhere.
Well, yeah. But as far as who's got assets to make it happen? Yeah,
Thunder
no,
do.
The Thunder do. Yeah, they got tons of picks.
I would trade Chet Holmgren in a heartbeat for Giannis.
Well, sure, of course.
Chet, some picks, and
Yeah,
something else.
I mean, yes. You want one of my J Dubs? You want two of my J Dubs? You can have them both, man. Yes. I mean, pick anybody but Shea.
Yeah, at that point, like
Yeah, who do you
SGA and Giannis.
Yeah, who do you want? Oklahoma City would be fast.
Yeah, and some of it's too. It's this group though. I think they're going to be playing the Western Conference Finals, a chance at the NBA Finals. At that point, if I'm Oklahoma City, I'm like, Giannis is cool and all, but I would run it back again with this group because it's what we saw with Boston. Man, they didn't overreact. They had their core. It was Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and let's go. And they've been 5 conference finals, 2 NBA finals.
Yeah, but if you get beat, you look at, okay, why did I get beat? Where's my blind spot? And does that guy help solve that? And if it's Holmgren's good, but he's not there yet, or I don't know, man. I mean, you probably wouldn't trade both first-round picks. You'd still get one, right? Maybe you would. I don't know. Milwaukee could demand a haul. That's for sure. There's a lot of places. But it's out there now. It's a conversation. All right. Friday we talked about fans. When the Draymond Green ejection happened. And he went off afterwards in the locker room. There was a lot of talk about what triggered it. Was it fan interaction? I got a story for you when we come back. And I don't know where fans come from, where people come from, and maybe it's you lost a bet or whatever. But there's no excuse, and I'm not even sure I find it to be an explanation. Fan conduct is out of control. And you got a player coming back from injury this weekend. Didn't play well. You're threatening his kids? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
We talk about this too often. Like, where's the line? Where do you draw the line? The line's got to be drawn somewhere, right? Once again, fan crossing line. And I don't even understand where it stems from, where your mind goes. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Astros right-handed pitcher Lance McCullers came back from rehab. He'd been out for a while. He didn't pitch well this weekend. He allowed 7 runs, part of a 10-run first inning for the Reds on Saturday night. After the game, it was put out that McCullers is getting death threats, not just to him, for his kids. Quote from McCullers after the game: I understand people are very passionate and people love the Astros and love sports, but threatening to find my kids and murder them is a little tough to deal with. So just as a father, I think there have been many, many threats over the years aimed at me mostly, and I think actually 1 or 2 people from other issues around baseball actually had to go to jail for things like that. But I think bringing kids into the equation, threatening to find them, or next time they see us in public, they're going to stab my kids to death, things like that, it's tough to hear as a dad, end quote. All right, dude, it makes you want to puke. And I know you're like, all right, well, did they really? It's been verified. The league office verified it. He and his wife have 2 young daughters. Look, this was his second start since the 2022 World Series. He's been battling arm issues. He was an all-star back in 2018. His manager, Joe Espada, after the game, quote, there are people who are threatening his life and the life of his kids because of his performance. It's very unfortunate that we have to deal with all this. After all he's done for the city, this team, the fact that we have to talk about that in my office. I got kids too, and it really drives me nuts that we have to deal with this. Very sad, very, very sad. Listen, he hasn't pitched in 2.5 years. It's going to take a little bit. End quote. Look, I love sports. You love sports. Have you ever once considered threatening a player, let alone threatening that you were going to stab their kids? What the hell is wrong with people? I'm going to guess, JJ, I'm going to guess, and maybe this isn't fair. I'm going to guess this is some guy who lost a bet. Right? Probably bet too much money, and it's your fault for betting on a guy who hadn't pitched in 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's social media, so people have direct contact with everyone, and they say whatever they want because there's a screen in between them, and they do not fear repercussions for their words. Gambling plays a huge part of this because why are you so upset at random player X? It's because you can't go 3 days without putting $75 down on something.
Or he's on your fantasy team. Quote McCullers again. If you fail on a very large stage. A lot of eyes and nowhere to hide. At the end of the day, I just want to do my job. I just want to be a good pitcher for the Astros, and I believe I'll get there. But like I said, I just think that having to worry about that, worry about leaving town and leaving them and things like that, or dropping her off at school, I just think there should be some type of decency, end quote. You got kids? Dude, my little girl turns 19 years old today. Happy birthday. Right? Can you imagine, like, someone threatens your kid? What did Mike Gundy say?
Yeah.
Come after me. I'm a man.
You know, people, and I think the lines are pushed so far where in sports fandom and sports media, if you're not criticizing, then you're not doing your job. And then some people kind of also take that as free reign of, well, I can take it as far as I want because I'm the fan and the quote-unquote paying customer.
Yeah, I'm the consumer. I'm always right. It just nauseates me. And it should you as a parent. And I asked you, or hell, it should you as a human. I mean, I asked you ever consider, doing that? I mean, I sure as hell hope the answer is no. And if the answer is, well, yeah, I considered one time, threatening to kill somebody because he missed a field goal, or like, check yourself.
I need to check yourself into something else too.
Seriously. I mean, I tell you, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. I might cross that line here. Yeah, don't be that. Yeah, that's the line that I'll cross. All right, 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday morning to you. Kind of a tough topic right there. I completely agree. There's so many things that go into this. Like you guys were just saying, you got the betting aspect, the gambling aspect of it. You've got social media, which is just everywhere. You've got these apps. I mean, ridiculous amounts of money. And then you got safety. And it's just those kind of situations, as sad as they are, with the salaries and everything and all the money going up, I mean, you got basketball games. Every single week there's a basketball game with over police, somebody getting escorted for making it come in. All of this is just constantly happening. And I mean, how do we go about it?
Mike, I don't care. I don't care how much money a guy makes. There is no reason to threaten a man's kids. There's just I don't care how much money he makes. There's a fortune cookie somewhere, right? Or it's a sign. Don't be an a-hole. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No, and I agree with that. And I think that a lot of people agree with that. But you've seen the movie with Robert De Niro. The Fan. Yeah. You've seen that movie. And I mean, how many people out there gambling on like JJ said, you can't go 2 days without putting money on the prize picks, whatever. How many people are out there that don't drink, that don't gamble? It's that's just a rare crowd. Everybody's going as hard as they can all the time, and they feel like that's that's their blow up, and then everything's okay.
All right, your phone's jacked. Hey, call us back, man, because your connection's horrible. I couldn't hear Mike anymore. But I hear his point. I think he's on our side on this. How can you not be?
Yeah,
there's no other side to be on.
There's no other. When you're threatening someone, you're threatening a family, that's just beyond anything when it comes to being invested in sports.
How do you get to that point? I don't want to know. There's, I always try to. You've been working with me for a lot of years, man.
You lost a bet. You're drunk.
It's
social
get there,
media
dude.
Because you know nothing's gonna happen to you.
I'm gonna threaten to stab a man's kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude. Social media is insane. It's not just, you can't just look at everything and be like, oh, that's just AI, that's bots. No, people are awful.
All right, I'm not arguing with you. I just don't get it, and I'm glad that I don't understand. I'm glad that my mind won't go there. I'm glad that I can't wrap my mind around it. And Mike, if you want to call back, go ahead. Your phone was just dropping. We couldn't hear you. I'm glad I don't get there. Like, dude, I've lost games, fantasy football games, or I don't bet a lot, but, you know, I get it. But it's on you, man. Oh, I could have gone on vacation. I could have paid the mortgage. I could have paid off last week's debts. So I'm going to threaten to stab his little girls? Who the hell are you? And I hope to goodness they catch these clowns. And not just public shame them, but yeah, public shame them. And there's that's a threat. I don't know what the charge is. What is it? Assault? I don't even know what is it just hit me, lawyers? I mean, what's the charge? But it can't be okay because, and I'm going to tell you why. They've got to find these guys. Because if they don't, or if they don't go after these guys, they don't prosecute whomever this is, there's how many more sitting in the weeds, more idiots with thumbs that lost a bet? Well, that guy got away with it. I can do it too. And, well, Jeff, they're just harmless threats. Are they? First of all, you should not have to live with that burden hanging over you. You shouldn't have to sleep with one eye open. You shouldn't have to go on the road and wonder if your wife and your kids are okay. And secondly, what happens when you embolden these people? Somebody's going to freaking act on it. That's what happens when you embolden people. When there's no consequence, when there's no deterrent. And I hate preaching. I do. I don't do this very often, but holy smoke. If you are that person, you are a horrible, a-hole, sick person. I tell you, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. Yeah, I am. At least I'm going to tell you how to not. Is betting really, this text line, is betting really controlling outcome of professional sports, ? It doesn't make sense how teams trade games blowing each other out. How do you have reserves and team managers playing in playoff games? How? ? Oh, is betting controlling? Look, I'd like to think not, but it's obviously controlling how some fans are. I just, goodness, can you imagine being that dude? Like, you fought for 2.5 years just to get back. You rehabbed. And yeah, you went out and you weren't good. And so you're trying to remember who you are. Is my career over? Am I any good? Is it worth it? Is it all those years of rehab? Is it worth it? Am I going to be worth it, bleep? And now someone's threatening to stab my kids? And you can tell me, Jeff, it's just some lunatic out. How the hell do you know that? If someone's jacked enough to make the threat, tell me why they're not jacked enough to make the next step. And I'd like to believe they're just cowards hiding behind a phone and they got thumbs. But I don't know, man. If you're nuts enough to think it, are you nuts enough to do it? I don't know Lance McCullers. I'm not a fan. I'm not a not fan. I don't know. I'm a fan of humanity. The fact that a man went out and tried to do his job, didn't do it successfully in one day. Someone's going to threaten your kids? I don't know. I know how I am as a parent. I know how you are as a parent. First of all, I couldn't sleep. I wouldn't sleep. Like, I'd just be hovering over her. It is what it is. I didn't mean to go on a freaking rant like that. That's the kind of stuff that just gets you. What the hell are we doing? All right, let me get back. I read you some thoughts on Bud Black. And are the Rockies the most stale organization in baseball, let alone in sports? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Sports Animal wants to give you a backyard blow-up. Listen to the opening drive for the keyword each day and text it to 505-246-0610 to be registered to win a hot tub from Valentine Swimming Pool and Spa, an American home furniture and mattress.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Certificate for artificial turf surfaces from Sinlong and from AAA or Pest Control.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a
Rudy's is a proud supporter of
can cause
ProView
serious and in rare
Networks.
cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding.
For your surprisingly great race, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Such as aspirin products,
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, dental procedures.
State Farm is there.
Eliquis.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Visit your Albuquerque Santa Fe Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
Go to nffasfa.org. That's
From the makers of Miralax, new Miralax soft chews work
nffasfa.org.
naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable
We would
go
like to
on
thank
the
the
go.
following
Find
sponsors
Miralax
for
today at
making
your local
this
retailer.
broadcast
Use discretion
possible.
for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition.
International
Today's
Protective
recipient from
Services
Michaela's
is a
Mobile
proud
Spa.
supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico
Michaela got a
Youth
quick business
Athletics.
insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable
IPS
coverages.
provides
Sure, it helps she's her only
residential
employee
and
and does
commercial
literally
security
everything, but while
services
others would
in
rest
the
on their
Albuquerque
laurels,
metro
Michaela
area.
was hard at work saving big. So take that hypothetical
For
other
info,
employee who doesn't
please
exist.
call
Be your own Michaela. See if you can save in as little as 10 minutes at
505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as
after that great 9-win season, but attendance didn't increase, so I think Krebs probably started pressure. Maybe try to increase attendance, and I think from that point on, Davey just kind of melded in, and his offense and the whole team just kind of, went in the tank and didn't have any good seasons after that. And that's always been my theory on that.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think of that? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe. I just, you think they had a conversation, hey, I know you won 9 games and pay you your bonus, and I know you led the nation in rushing, but it's not exciting enough, and so you need to change your offense? I struggle believing that.
I struggle believing it too, but you look at, they did have Lamar Jordan still on that 2017 roster. It was Tavaka, Tuioti, and we talked about, were they trying to force the passing game too much there as opposed to trying to find that mixture that they had previously with Austin Apodaca and Lamar Jordan.
Did they change coordinators that year? Feels like they changed coordinators every year, right? Like I don't remember who the offensive coordinator was at the time, but maybe that had something to do with it. I have a problem thinking it came from upstairs. I think Bob came in and said we ran the option initially because we had to, right? Remember he used to complain and not wrongfully, that the cupboard was bare, that there weren't enough players after, when Mike Locksley left. But it's like any other coaching change. But the portal wasn't as easy to get players out of then, right? So they were short-handed. He said this is what we had to do, and they played to their strengths, and they ran the option. And they ran it pretty damn well.
Yeah, you had back-to-back bowl seasons for Lobo football. And at what point does, this is what we had to do, become this is what we should do? Because after going 9-4, winning the New Mexico Bowl, it was 3-9, 3-9, 2-10. Good night.
And here we are. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll listen to the theories. I don't know that we'll ever know the answer. I just struggle thinking that the AD stepped in and said, "Okay, we're gonna have to. You got to change the offense." All right, I want to hit you with this. So, Bud Black was fired over the weekend as the manager of the Colorado Rockies. Rockies were 6-33. They're now 7-33. They're 19.5 games out of first place. They have been outscored by 128 runs. They're the only team since 1900. Actually, only one team since 1900 has a worse differential in runs through 40 games. That was the 2023 A's. They're historically bad. And so, is this going to make a difference? I was reading an SI article. Called them the stalest organization in baseball. And that this is not going to make any difference. You can fire the manager all you want. It says the Rockies are a stale organization, perhaps the most insular organization in baseball. Bill Schmidt, their general manager, has been there 26 years. JJ, I didn't realize that. 26 years they've had the same GM, which, again, God bless them. I'm not looking for anybody to get fired. I'm never a fan of that. Their director of player development is Chris Forbes. He's been there 19 years. Now, Warren Schaefer's their new manager. He's been with the organization 19 years. Clint Hurdle's now big in the organization. He goes back to the 90s. They don't make trades. They don't sign free agents. What can they do? The one time they did, they got it wrong. It was Chris Bryant, right? Their major league development is poor. The story says Ryan McMahon's 30 years old, has played 9 years, has never been an above-average hitter. His trade value, once high, has withered to nothing. Ezekiel Tovar, Brendan Doyle look like the best players to graduate to the big club. Both have gone backwards. Outfield prospect Zach Veen cannot take away bats from the likes of Mickey Moniak and Nick Martini. And why tell Jordan Beck, 24, to take his seat late in close situations so Martini, 34, can come in and take his hacks? There's a big, big story. Basically, nothing is going to happen. It explains why they are the most, what was the word I used? Stale? Are they the most stale organization? They might be. I mean, you start going through, if you're not here, are they the most insignificant franchise in sports right now? I used to tell you I would think the Magic were, right? That was always my go-to. They're not anymore. I mean,
right now, bottom of the barrel, yeah, but the White Sox were that last year, so it's a moving target.
The White Sox were in Chicago and they were in the World. Well, the Rockies were in the World Series more recently, right?
06, 07?
Yeah. By the way.
But the White Sox got the Pope.
So on the Pope thing, there was a picture. I was in the same building as the Pope. I didn't know it. There was a picture on X this weekend. Game 1 of the World Series in 05. White Sox and Astros, and the Pope was there.
You were with the Pope.
I was with the Pope. Yeah, I was with that kid. Yeah. Who knew? Yeah. He bought me a beer. I'm kidding. I have no idea.
This is... No, but there's franchises that are at the bottom of the barrel. Right now, the Rockies. I don't know how... I think back, and it's just 7 years ago, they went to the playoffs in back-to-back years. I'm like, how did that happen? How is that possible for a franchise that's been so bad in player development?
Or more so, how do you get to this point from there?
And it's one thing to give people time to do a job. It's another when you've looked at the numbers you just laid out, 26 years for a general manager, 19 for a player development leader in Chris Forbes, and you look at their draft, they've had high draft picks. Where's any of the stars from that?
They missed. They missed on everything. It says nothing will change in Colorado until the team's infrastructure and philosophy change because of the physical and strategic challenges of altitude. The Rockies should have one of the most robust analytic departments. Instead, they have one of the smallest. They should pour more money into player development and less in free agency because predictability of performance at altitude is too risky when you're talking about veteran players who have made their career at sea level. They should invest in a Far East scout to become at least a player in mining talent from that world. They should emphasize size and freakish athletic ability in scouting players to improve the chances of defending a large field and up to the physical rigors. They should look at hiring the brightest young minds in other organizations. Discover what the Dodgers, Rays, Guardians, Yankees, and the like know about winning margins to be bold enough to admit they don't know and then look for answers. They should, look, like most teams, stop talking this nonsense about building a sustainable winner, like they have the Dodgers' money, and concentrate on peaking with a young core in 3 or 4 year windows and cycle more quickly out of the down periods. Wow. Okay, those were all pretty good suggestions.
Those are amazing suggestions.
It says none of this is happening in Colorado, and it never does. Nothing changes. Attendance is down 15% from pre-COVID years, but many fans still so enjoy the Coors Field experience, they don't seem to mind watching a bad team. Like the Rockies outdrew, last year, the Rockies outdrew 6 playoff teams, including the Mets and Orioles. Pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of that, too, is
it's Coors Field.
Well, visiting fans, too, and destination, and a lot of fans coming out. And as bad as, the Rockies kind of always in the back of your mind, kind of that other franchise. Well, yeah, they've been around since 93, but the last 2 years were the first 2 years in franchise history they lost over 100 games. And they happened in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. Those are great suggestions, though. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning. It's disappointing because, you want to get into AAA baseball and you want to support the Rockies, and it's just year after year of trying to get on board. And, like, for me, when you're a Dodger fan for really your whole life, it's really hard to transition. In fact, I've found it impossible. I found myself watching Dodgers Diamondbacks on TV this weekend instead of the Rockies, even though I get both channels. So, it's just the way it is. But maybe this will be the change that they need. And what's that saying, Jeff and JJ, familiarity breeds contempt?
Yep.
Maybe they've just gotten so familiar with each other that they don't really care anymore. And if you're drawing that well, why would you?
Yeah.
It's not affecting your bottom line. Switching to the Lobos, congratulations that 2 years in a row that Todd Brown's been able to get them into the 4-team playoff. I guess that's what it's called now, playoff or tournament, whatever you call it. Toying with the idea of heading out to Mesa next week for the final. But this week we got 3 huge games against Fresno State. And, as good as that program has been, do you know what their record is in Albuquerque?
Fresno's?
Yeah.
No idea.
I think they've only won like 2 or 3 times in the history of their program in Albuquerque.
Really?
I mean, it's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal when Fresno State comes to Albuquerque. So I'm hoping for more brutality this weekend, and congratulations to the Lobos. I mean, they've got a team that just flat out hits the ball. They were a little off Sunday because they were trying to jack everything over that 300-foot fence in right field, and they got one over, but most of them they couldn't get there. They were just golfing them too high. But have you ever been to Air Force?
Not to the baseball field, no.
Unbelievable facilities until you get to the baseball field. I don't know if you watched it. There's nobody behind home plate. It's just a black wall.
No, I did not.
It's really strange. And then Friday, Jeff, I've been thinking about this, and I'm going to have a tribute to your Ho Friday. I've been working on a tribute for Ho Friday.
I'm interested in hearing what that sounds like. All right. I look forward to it. All right, man.
Okay.
Enjoy the week.
Have a great week, everybody.
Later. I got to take this final break. Vince, stay there. I want to hear what you have to say when we get back. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with Sports Minute. Mary Young of San Antonio was in Detroit on Mother's Day to watch her son Josh of the Rangers play against
We would like to
fellow
thank the
third
following
baseman and
sponsors
younger
for
brother
making
Chase.
this broadcast
Before the game,
possible.
the brothers escorted Mary as she
ProView
brought out
Networks would
baseball
like to
the
thank the
mound.
following
Josh
sponsors
later
for
became the
making
first
this
player to
broadcast
homer
possible.
against his
Hans
brother's
Whitler
team on
Automotive,
Mother's
German
Day.
car maintenance
Oh,
and
there she
repair in
is.
Albuquerque,
The
New
foot
Mexico.
that I'm sure. I'm
Call
Boomer Esiason.
505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Becoming. Like, I've always cracked on folks who are obsessed with celebrity goss. Now I'm one of them.
Not talking about this.
No.
No.
Was she banned from the UNC football facility, as Pablo Torre said on his pod, or, as the school says, is that bogus? And though we're not there yet, what if the Hood had to choose between what he calls his creative muse and UNC did try to tell him what to do? Who would he choose, her or the school? And most hilarious of all is that the guy who has pounded into his players for decades, eliminate all distractions, now has one of the biggest distractions ever. I'd call the guy a hypocrite, but I'm having way too much fun with it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go hit refresh on my lapper to see if
It's you. Guy. Mind if I...
Fees or minimum?
That's a
I'm off to spread the good news. Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
International
Say,
Protective
Capital
Services is
One.
a proud
Let's see
supporter
your
of
wallet.
ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Capital One and a member FDIC.
Here's comedian
IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area.
Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all,
For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
Because they cost you money, but a good surprise that could save you money.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
To keep your business moving full speed ahead.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
505-444.
sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos.
Let's get them both in, or as many as we can. 505-246-0610. Vince, thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Vince.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
The firing of Bud Black, unfortunately, it's not going to be the cure-all for the Rockies. It will help things. I think that the game kind of got away from Bud. He was trying to coach like it was 1979 all over again. He was the winningest coach in Rockies history. That kind of tells you something about the franchise. The problem with the Rockies, though, is owner Dick Monfort. He's the absolute worst owner in all of Major League Sports. The organization is insular. Those guys you mentioned, Chris Forbes and Schmitty. Schmitty hasn't been the GM for 26 years, but they've both been in the system for 20-plus years. Bridich was there before. He was a guy that single-handedly ran off Nolan Arenado. This has been kind of a culmination of things. They ran off DJ LeMahieu. They tried to lowball John Gray. Trevor Story saw what was going on. He got the heck out of Dodge. They have the smallest analytics department in baseball. They have this philosophy that they know what they need to know, and they don't need to get outside influence. And until Monfort changes things and brings in people from outside of the organization, I mean, you're still going to be the cellar dweller in the last place. Taking Buddy out of the equation is going to fix some things because he relied on his veterans too much. He didn't like to play the kids. And unfortunately, now all they have are kids. That's right. That's all they've signed some, Moniak, and they've signed Farmer and some other guys just to kind of fill some roster spots. But all those kids have graduated now, and they're there. And you need someone who can connect with them. And I think Schaefer can do that because he was with them going up. So I think you're going to see some improvement with the Rockies, but it won't be wholesale until either Monfort sells the team or really decides to bring in somebody from outside of the system and to revamp the entire farm system and organization.
Appreciate you, man. No, that's a great call, Vince. Thank you. You're closer to it than I am. What do you think of that?
Absolutely. It's an ownership down issue. The GMs, they've been to Bridich, Dan O'Dowd. They've had different people in those roles, but it comes down from what the ownership wants. And the Monforts, penny pinchers, don't really care about winning. If they win, cool, but they're not that invested in the development of the total organization.
Art, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Art.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Life's grooving. How you living?
I'm living.
Good.
Yeah, I was, last night I was trolling YouTube, and I was listening to that Monty show.
Okay.
And they recently just had some new data on the thing between the Pac-12 and the Mountain West.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the Pac-12 is tired of losing money by paying all these lawyers because they have some bad leadership. And it seems to me, and I can be completely out of my mind, but literally Mountain West has Pac-12 by the cojones. And if I'm the Pac-12, and even these other schools that want to go over there, you might want to rethink that idea because the Pac-12 does not have good leadership. They don't have really money to keep on playing who's going to jump first. Because I think Gloria has done a hell of a job in spite of the Pac-12 trying to rip off half her teams. But if it was and I'm the guy from Oregon State and Washington, I think it's your alma mater, Jeff. But I would tell San Diego State, kiss my backside and let's just be done with this. Let's get the merge and let's make some money and move forward.
You would merge,
huh? The Pac-12 can't hang anymore. I'll listen. Thank you, bro.
It's interesting. So this is going to be next week, JJ, I think is when the mediation starts, or at least scheduled. Now, and like I've heard a bunch of times, it could last 2 months, 2 weeks. It could last 2 minutes. I don't see a scenario. I just don't, where the Mountain West goes in there and folds, where they just say, you know what, you're right. Let's be done with this. We don't want, we're not going to take the money. I firmly believe the Mountain West thinks that they are in the right. I think they are too, by the way. I don't see how these schools can go in and claim, no, we signed this document under duress. We didn't know what we were signing.
They're just standing in the corner of the room with baseball bats.
Yeah. You knew exactly what you were signing. You needed, well, we needed a schedule agreement. You needed one. And so this was the conditions in which you got one. But was there an option? The answer is absolutely there was. Ask UMass, ask, these other schools that scheduled independently for a while. It could have been done. There was, that's my argument if I'm an attorney for the Mountain West. Yeah, there were options. But. All right, good stuff today. The Herd with Colin Cowherd's next. The Jim Rohn Show follows that. 2 Men On comes in at 4. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. We will begin at 7 a.m. Adrian always looks great. Happy Monday, and thanks for starting the week on such a high note. He is J.J. Buck. I am merely Jeff Sim.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Please be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you then.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.